So I watched James Gunn's new Superman movie in theaters early on July 8th, and I vlogged the experience, had a good time, almost got shot to death by security because they probably thought I was a terrorist.
I'm about to watch the movie. Wish me luck. No one stays good in this world.
Like, just imagine somebody walking into your theater, recording themselves with a backpack, reaching into it while saying, "Wish me luck, guys. No one stays good in this world." I don't know what I was thinking, but I saw Superman and the movie was a mess. Now, perhaps I probably watched too many trailers and clips for this film because when I was watching it in theaters, I felt like I had already seen the entire movie. None of the very few, and I mean it, very few cool looking action scenes wowed me because, well, I'd already seen them. David Cornsweet is good in the role of Clark Kent, and Rachel Brosnahan is fine as Lois, and most of the characters in the movie actually didn't annoy me. However, I just feel like Gunn promoted this movie as this super ambitious thing, and I thought it would essentially be a love letter to the character of Superman as James has described it, and it simply wasn't. Superman saves people in the movie, sure, but it doesn't really mean much because he doesn't talk to them. He doesn't have any meaningful or deep connections with the people he saves. So why do you as an audience care? Whenever he is on the brink of a meaningful connection, it's always interrupted by a cringy joke that takes away all its meaning. I think about scenes like the car scene in The Amazing Spider-Man, which might be the first ever superhero movie I've ever seen in theaters. It's definitely one of the first experiences that I actually remember. And the scene in the car where Spider-Man saves the boy from the burning car, it's brilliant. The way he inspires, the way he gives the boy strength to believe in themselves and be brave is marvelous. And him giving the boy his mask is still one of my favorite scenes in comic book movie history. But you don't really get any of that in James Gunn's Superman. Just imagine this beautiful, well shot, well acted, well written scene, which is pretty much the emotional climax for our protagonist, was just offset by a cringy joke, taking away all of the emotional buildup, all of the emotional significance. Well, that's pretty much what Superman is. He saves people, he cracks a smile, and it's over. I myself has been called a Snyder cultist for not liking this movie, even though my criticisms have had nothing to do with Snyder or his movies. I mean, yeah, sure, I do like Snyder's movies and I love his Superman, but it still has its problems, which I've admitted. It's not like I wasn't anticipating James Gunn's Superman movie or that I was hating on it, because I've been on record multiple times expressing how excited I was for it. One thing I at least appreciate about Snyder though is that he actually takes Superman seriously, and every line or imagery isn't some dumb punchline. In a new Superman movie, it's established that people just love Superman in the beginning, but we never really get to see why. I'd really hoped that we would get flashbacks in this movie, not to Clark's origin, but his early years as Superman. Seeing David Cornsweet in the New 52 Action Comics Year 1 costume saving people and running in leaps rather than flying would have been really cool. And then showing his progression into flying while wearing his original Action Comics issue 1 suit would have also been awesome. And then showing how he has his current suit, how he got his current logo, because he does use the Kingdom Come logo, all of that would have been nice, but we get none of it. I get James Gunn wants to show an established Superman, which is kind of lazy when you think about it, but you still gotta show how he got there. You can't just give us a Superman and say, accept him as Superman and love him. We don't know this Superman. Now, James Gunn spoke pretty openly and candidly about his love for Allstar Superman and how it will actually be an inspiration for this movie. And I'm actually quite a big fan of Allstar Superman. It's definitely grown even more on me recently. And I really thought, hell, I was sure that he would adapt one of the most iconic scenes in Superman history. Superman stopping a girl from killing herself and inspiring her and showing her that there's always hope. Guys, I wanted this scene so goddamn bad, but no, there was none of it. I also wanted to see Superman flying a bus full of children with cancer around the pyramids, giving them hope, but there's none of that either. As a matter of fact, there's actually nothing from Allstar Superman that's adapted in this 2-hour movie. This movie is purely style over substance, and it's not even that good at giving us style, which is funny. Sure, he gives us these cute scenes of Superman saving people, but there's no meaning behind it. There's no deeper connection other than Superman saves the person, then goes on to the next thing. Hell, Matt Reeves taught us that you don't even need to show words to convey meaning. At the end of the Batman, when Batman is saving a lady, she simply grabs his arm, showing admiration and appreciation for him. And whereas before in the film, where he was kind of distant and more focused on instilling fear rather than hope, he probably would have brushed the lady off, but in this scene, he kind of smirks and he grabs her hand back. And he genuinely does comfort her. This one scene is so intimate and so beautiful. It marks character progression. It shows how people feel about Batman, and it's wordless. Not a single word is spoken. But once again, you don't get this in Superman. Everything is super fast-paced. On to the next thing. They never really slow down to breathe for actual character development. Now, there's very compelling scenes in the trailer where this little Middle Eastern boy is holding up the Superman flag, pleading for him. And guess what? In the actual movie, it's not even Superman that saves the boy. It's literally Guy Gardner who ends up saving him, and the entire scene is turned into some dumb punchline. James Gunn had an easy layup to give us an emotional scene of Superman talking to this kid who clearly idolizes him, but instead he gave up a good character moment for a trash, unfunny punchline. This film just promises so much than what it's actually given. The very first marketing image for this movie, the literal first look at this Superman, is a photo of Superman putting on his boots as an alien invasion looks to be happening outside. This got me hyped. Many were speculating that the villain could be Brainiac or something big, but what is this actual scene in the movie? It's literally just Clark talking to Lois. That's it. And the Justice Gang are just fighting some weird alien on the outside of their apartment that we never actually get to see. It's all just a bunch of CGI silhouettes. Nicholas Hoult is a great actor, but the script he's given as Lex Luthor just does not give him much to work with. His Lex Luthor is cartoony and silly, not very threatening at all. A lot of this movie is actually from Lex's perspective, and he literally tells you, the audience, what he is going to do as he is doing it. And this is just not how you write Lex Luthor. I don't want to know what Lex's plan is until it's already been done. Snyder's Lex Luthor had his problems, but something I appreciate about him is that he's actually subtle. The courtroom scene is the perfect example of that. You, the audience, has no idea what's happening. You think Superman is just about to have a friendly conversation with the state about his, actions in other countries or whatever. But none of the characters in the room actually know what's happening either. By the time that you realize, oh shit, why isn't Lex in his chair? Oh shit, that guy's wheelchair was given to him by Lex. Oh shit, is that Granny's peach tea? It's already too late. Everything explodes right in Superman's face. That is what you call subtlety. That is how you write Lex fucking Luthor. He's unhinged, he's calculated, he's mysterious. But James Gunn's Lex Luthor is just a mustache twirling cartoon villain whose plan is just to spread mean hashtags about Superman and call him meanie names. Here's my master plan to make Superman look bad, guys. I'm gonna call him Super Shit. Now I'm gonna talk about Ultraman, and spoiler alert, he has 0 lines in the entire movie. Yes, the second antagonist, the guy who's heavily marketed in this big blockbuster movie, doesn't have a single fucking line. And I'm about to spoil you who he is, so if you don't want to know, just fast forward, I guess, to later in the video. But the identity of Ultraman is basically just a clone of Superman. He's David Cornsweet. Now, for a second, let's just forget about the fact that it's already disingenuous to name this character Ultraman in the first place, when the real Ultraman actually has a rich and interesting history in the comics with the Crime Syndicate, which also could have made a great movie adaptation against the Justice League, all which Gunn pretty much undid by giving this character that name. The concept of Superman going against a clone of himself has potential if written well. But the problem is that this wasn't written well. In the movie, Superman and his clone duke it out, they fight, but what I find so damn weird is that Superman doesn't say a single word to Ultraman, and Ultraman 2 doesn't say a single word, as I said before. This is so damn weird, because if Ultraman is a direct clone of Superman, he should still be able to talk. And Superman, being this bright beacon of hope like this film desperately wants to convince us he is, should at least try to reason with him and talk with Ultraman, right? But no, they just fight while Lex Luthor is narrating, giving a monologue. And then Superman basically kills him. Superman kills his clone. Now, once again, I go to Allstar Superman for reference, where Superman similarly has to fight a clone of himself, this clone being Bizarro. And throughout the entire story, despite Bizarro being on a murdering rampage, Superman consistently tries to reason with him, to help him. And he does. It's such a cute and adorable moment that builds his character. Clark tries to help him no matter what, really showing his unwithering human goodness, that there's always a way to help or save someone. But Clark in this movie doesn't even try and just kills off his clone immediately. Doesn't exchange any words with him, doesn't try to help him out of this weird mind-controlled state, just straight up kills him. Now compare that dog shit writing to Chip Zdarsky's Batman run, my favorite Batman run of all time. When Batman first found out that he had a clone of himself that was angry and scared and was fighting the Bat family, his first response was not to fight. He hugged his clone. He told him everything would be all right. This is Batman, by the way. We got this beautiful, introspective, compassionate writing for Batman, the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader, but we couldn't get that for Superman of all characters. In a movie that continuously drills in your brain, this is not Henry Cavill's Superman. This is not a dark and edgy Superman. This is bright and hopeful. This was bad writing on so many levels, and James Gunn shows he doesn't truly understand these characters, and they're purely jokey spectacles to him. It's so fucking insane to me that Snyder's Superman is called dark and evil for literally begging and pleading for Zod to surrender and stop trying to kill people, and being forced to kill him to save a family of people. Being forced to kill the last of his race and literally breaking down in fucking tears, in literal despair that he had to do that. That is what's considered dark and edgy, a genuine actual character moment that focuses on character, not spectacle. That is dark and edgy. Yet James Gunn's Superman gets a pass after not trying to plead with the clone of himself, not giving a damn, and killing him with zero regret, question, or mercy. But this is style over substance. So because he has bright colors and because he makes cringy jokes, all of that bad writing will be forgiven. Overall, this movie has too many characters. The Justice Gang are fun, sure, but I would have taken them out if it meant we got actual character building for Superman. The movie fails both as a comic adaptation and as a film on its own. It's not very pretty to look at, and I saw it in IMAX. Crypto steals the show a lot in this film, but not in a good way. He's just comic relief and distracts any semblance of character building. Overall, this movie is a mess. I give it like a 4.5, 5 out of 10. It's not very good at all. Another thing that pissed me off is that he never played the Starman song. Like, even the title credit and the end credits were all ugly looking. Like, they didn't even look good. They didn't have any cool graphics of Superman or comic book you know, concept art. It's just, this movie's a mess, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sure someone's gonna call me a Snyder cultist, but it is what it is. I'll catch y'all later. Be sure to like and subscribe, please.